Ways to be aware of misinformation. We all are frantic about the information on the subject of the events happening around us. One of the examples of this is information about COVID. We want to know that if there is any cure for it, how long it is going to last, and stuff like this. But the information that we are getting about the topic is not always true and can be fake. Have you ever thought about it? Just to grab the attention of folks, many platforms spread the wrong and false information about the hot topic. Many purposes behind this misinformation. We will discuss them later on. But for this article, I am going to highlight different to be aware of misinformation. First, we are going to have the basics of misinformation. So, let us get started. Misinformation, what exactly it is? The spree of false information with no intentions to mislead is generally considered misinformation. The spread of misinformation is common in our society and is an everyday thing. We being humans are not perfect. We all can make mistakes. Sometimes we share information that we read or heard somewhere without knowing that if that's true or not. If you are doing this, then stop doing this because you might be spreading the misinformation. Ways to be aware of misinformation. The good news is that you can control the spread of misinformation if you are ready from research. There are some ways to be aware of the misinformation, and I am going to mention them underneath. Let us dive into it. 1. Inspect the source. This should be the first thing to look at if you think that the information is not true. Take a moment and inspect the home of the news. If there are any doubts, then investigate the sources. 2. Is there a dramatic headline? As I have mentioned that there are many reasons behind the spreading of misinformation. One of them is that if you click on the dramatic and thrilling headline, then that site will earn money. So before clicking on such headlines, try to search out the evidence behind the outrageous claim. Keep in mind that the hot and spicy headline is not always as outrageous as you think. 3. Examine the content. This is one of the easiest ways to figure out whether the information is true or is misinformation. Every organization wants to break the news first to win the competition. They do not have time to consider all the facts. If you look at the content of such organizations, then you will find lots of grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Anonymous sources and poor vocabulary indicate that the article you are reading is come out of unreliable sources. So look at the content of the article on which you are paying so much attention to figure out whether the news is fake or real. 4. Critical mindset. Having a critical mindset also going to save you from misinformation. Misinformation spreads in a second because it sounds so realistic and believable. Sometimes fear, anxiety, and anger are the responses to such information. So better is to keep your emotion on one side and ask yourself, what is the purpose of this story? Is it comes from reliable sources or the unknown? Most importantly, if it is playing a part in triggering your emotions, then you really need to check it. 5. Check who else is reporting the same news. To become up to date and be aware of the information, check who else is reporting the same thing. If many organizations and sites are stating the same things and facts, then the news is real. But if there is only one organization or site that is reporting, then check the information. Conclusion. All in all, to become aware of your surroundings, you need to double-check the information that you received. This will ensure the authenticity and credibility of the information you are about to consume. Make sure you have a credible source as well. This will help you in avoiding many misunderstandings that may cause damage to you in the future. There are some ways mentioned in this article that are going to help you to figure out the misinformation.